Yeah. Okay. So good morning, participants. And on behalf of Graduate School of Management Studies, Gujarat Technological University, we all heartily welcome you, Professor Bhavin Kothari, who is Professor Strategic Design Management in National Institute of Design, that is NID Ahmedabad, and has over 20 years of experience besides being an engineering graduate. Also done his first master in planning and another master in intellectual property rights. So Professor Kothari has generated special interest in circular economy and related areas. He has actively worked to facilitate and generate intellectual property right, awareness in designer fraternity in general and NID in particular. Professor Kothari has been instrumental in revamping strategic designing management curriculum at NID besides developing, strengthening, and delivering it. Professor Kothari is innovation specialist and likes mentoring corporate on strategically designing their organizing, imbibing design thinking and innovation management. His professional interest also includes organization design and designing business models for MSMEs and creative industries. Professor Kothari is an active member of International Association of Innovation Professionals. He is executive board member of the Gujarat Innovation Society. Also, Professor is mentoring Gujarat Technological University, our startup, especially to incorporate design thinking in their engineering curriculum of all the streams. He has helped in setting up National Institute of Design at Kurukshetra as faculty advisor for the education program. He has recently been nominated as member Board of Governance, Indian Institute of Technology, Dharwad. He supports Atal Innovation Mission initiative of Niti Aayog Government of India also. So thank you so much for accepting our invitation to bless us with your the exposure on this design thinking case studies for management education. So thank you so much for joining, and I request to start your session, sir.
Sure. Thank you so much, Tushar and GTU, for this opportunity. And it has been a pleasure. And at the outset, I really thank and everyone interested in the subject is very much there. And we always say that the challenge is always, the teaching the teachers. And that's what the faculty development program is all about. But with that challenge, I'll try and see, and that too when it is subject like design thinking, it becomes even more kind of difficult to do that. What I would my benefit here is, I think, talking to you after a couple of days of interaction on this topic. So I would take that as granted here, and we would discuss more on then. That is why the subject is more about then talking and applying the case studies, try and look at what has been the application of it. So, I mean, I chose that when Tushar said this is available topic, I said I would love to talk about it. And so hence I would request all of you to, I'm not able to see the chat box here. Is it possible to, along with my screen? I don't know. But otherwise, I would have preferred doing that. Is that possible anyways? Any idea? Do we have
Uh,
a chat box?
yes, let me see first. Yes.
So,
So
I mean,
when I
some of
make
your responses can come in there, and then if I can access, it would be easy enough to make it interactive actually.
yes,
So,
sir.
execute. And I don't know. I mean, or else we have spent a lot of time when we can, otherwise
I
go
think
ahead.
we request participant to share their views, what they have,
And they can talk it out. That's what you say,
yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. And how many participants do we have here? I mean, what is my privilege to talk to?
Yes, sir. So total we have around 120, and I think 88 have already joined. So I think they will join soon, and because I think some issue with this, so maybe someone has left and they will again join. So I requested in group also.
Fine. All right, makes sense. So, is my screen visible to you? Presentation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So, guys, this is what I have kind of tried to work it out. And as I said, since you guys have already gone through some of the topics and things, so I'm taking it as, what have you understood so far about the design thinking? Can very quickly someone share with me? Uh,
So may I? So this is Hema Mirji.
right.
What until now we have understood is design thinking is all about creation of a particular product, which is viable in terms of commercialization, and designing such a product using your creativity and taking into consideration the people's need. So you have to be empathetic for understanding their needs. This is how we have understood. So we have to create that and prototype it, and then finally keep in a commercial manner.
Okay, okay, great. So, I mean, we will take some of those case studies. How do you identify the need and what people have done in the business so far? And it is basically almost looking like, looking at an elephant uh, and then six blind men, which is a very cliche kind of a thing. And how do we apply for the business is a very interesting story going further, right? And we all know Jugaad, and what we intend to look at is to lead to the innovation, right? And these are two different things. Many a times we tend to mix this two subjects, and to lead to the innovation, what is required is the design thinking to convert Jugaad into an innovation. And overlap of that would lead to, I mean, by having said what you said, applying those things. So going beyond the Jugaad is important, and that's where you can achieve that journey of leading to the mm, innovation part. And various streams like engineering, management, and technology alike, their requirements at across the bay is different, but it has been realized that for everyone it is important to achieve and know the design thinking mindset to create. I mean, first day, if you remember, people were talking about creating a mindset for design thinking. So if you look at this chart, and what does it give you to understand? Can anyone share with me? So there is a special stream like design, and NID creates designers, but we are saying that the kind of pink line that is going across for all the departments and the, yes, please. Yeah, so there it is required for everyone to study this, right? So design thinking is not the domain only of the designers, and every other person wants to be successful. They need to understand design thinking, and that is why it is also being taken into the technological universities and the Gujarat, this management studies are kind of offering this, and that is why we want to include that into the curriculum. So if I may ask the question that, I mean, this has always been a very difficult question. You guys were very, I can understand from the response which I got from the madam, is that you have inculcated quite a bit. But if I may say that, how do you control an elephant through a design thinking? Otherwise, it is very difficult, right? To control an elephant. So how do you control an elephant? I'm trying to make it light, and then we'll get into the serious studies, basically. Yeah, anyone?
Sir, in a picture, it is tied with a rope.
Right. So how easy would it be for the elephant to knock that off and get
It's
away?
very easy.
It's
Actually.
the mindset. It's the mindset. Whether you would like to control someone from the design thinking or not, it's all about the mindset.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
So when we say we will use the design or we will use or in design thinking, it's the mindset of the person should be free from any biases or towards anything to go to reach to the right goal. Otherwise, we say I am following the process, but ultimately I am ending up with the selecting the options or the tools which are biased or I am biased towards something. Then even I am following the process, I may not be reaching the right goal or the objective.
Sure. So you have understood theory to the core of it. I would appreciate that. But how do you apply how in this question? I mean, how would you apply that mindset to control an elephant? I mean, how do you come out of all the
May
biases and
Sir,
preconditions?
So,
may I fi-
this
Yes.
is Nir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sir, there is a practice of tying elephants at the young age by using chains, metal chains or iron chains. For that, it will be practicing to get out of it, snatching, and one mind it will understand that I will not be able to get it off, and the mindset will be fixed with the elephant that
Right.
it cannot it cannot any chain, and after
What?
that Mahat will make it with he will tie it with a normal thread. Then also mindset will not change for an elephant, but
Great.
we can break that ideology and come out of the traditional thinking, and we can apply the new creativity without barriers in a new design.
Oh, wonderful. So I would only add one word to your explanation is
Hello.
that there is something called preconditioning, right? So you
Hello
condition.
effect. I was about to say the word.
All right, great, wonderful. So that preconditioning, that is kind of inherent in the mind of the elephant when it is a baby elephant, and later on when it grows, it has been kind of ingrained in the mind. And once one does not try to, overcome that. Let's take some business case study and the thinking. I mean, there is a person who was doing and operating in the renting of the excavators business, the JCB you guys would have heard of, right? The excavator which is used in the earth moving equipment is known as, and a lot of construction sites they use this, right? When you say that trying to study the need part of it and all of those, how does design thinking get applied here? And one kind of shifted from the excavator to compactors. He started renting, he stopped renting excavator, and he kind of started, operating in the business of giving the compactors on rent. Now, why would one have done this, and how does the design thinking apply here? So how would you go about thinking about this? Can you may elaborate the process, or you may have the real reasons for it. Real reasons might be very specific to the sector. So maybe you need to understand the civil engineering or whatever the problems there. But how would you apply the process here? Anyone?
So,
Yeah.
why he stopped to due on a rent? The question is why JCB stopped on a due on a rent?
Yeah, truly. That's a good.
Because there may be one reason if I say each machine has its own capacity to excavate in the volumes.
Okay.
And if we give in a rent, there may be a chance where the builder or the user would like to utilize more than the capacity to excavate. So it is better to excavate in the volume method than the time method. Because if I give on a time, if I say for 24 hours and my machine needs to be used for the 12 hours and then 12 hours rest, the user may use all 24 hours, or user may use more than the speed than the excavation required. So it is better to do on a volume base than the time base.
Correct. So wonderfully said. May I know your name, please?
Sir, I'm Sunil Ranwani from Pandit Deen Dayal Petroleum University.
Oh, wonderful, sir. Gangwani sir, you are registered there, is it? I mean, if I'm not wrong, or a fake
Yes, sir.
degree. Anyway, but wonderful, sir. I mean, if someone can think till this level, wonderful. And I may probe you to think further about then what are the benefits vis-a-vis. This is exactly the reason. You are very right that it has been sent on the rent through a driver, and you can always do whatever arrangement with the driver, right? And can with the whether it is a volume or whether it is that, and you don't get it back all the time. So next day, if there is new volume of work, one can kind of get that done. And what is the advantage over that to have the compactors business? Gangwani sir?
Yes, sir. So
Yes,
what
sir.
is the advantage over the
JCB to compactors, yeah.
no that
So may I attempt?
Who is this? Yes, please.
Yes.
so
So many
computers for the on the rent, right? Why
compactors are
computers?
used for roadways, and obviously the machine is not used 24 hours in this case, because they have to stop and let the road
No.
dry up and then start it. So they will not misuse the machine in this case. I
Great.
think.
Great. Wonderfully said. So same thing happens. I mean, if they use it more, if they are going to use the material more, the soil or the land getting compacted, they will have to apply more material to that, right? And it is going to be additional cost for it. At the same time, they may not even use it. They want to show that they have this machine at the site when the inspection comes, right? So it was useful that without much of an experience in terms of the petrol, rent, I mean the driver, water, and all that, and they were still trying kind of earning the money. So these are the kind of business aspects to look at. How can we apply in the case studies? We'll see some of more such case studies. That is what my topic is all about today with you. I'll not get into this because I'm sure that in these last couple of days, this is what would have kind of given to you, right? So the mundane definitions of that and all of those, I'll try and keep that with. And this is the time to apply and provide the design thinking to inculcate within the organization. So I'm not asking this another question that what is your understanding of design thinking, which seems to have quite matured, and I'm sure that your students would get benefit out of it. But what are the key words that comes to your mind? Before I move on to the next slides, can someone else who has not spoken so far? What are the key words that comes to your mind when you say design thinking? You already said few of them. Yeah.
Empathy.
Empathy. Okay. Wonderful. Great.
Ideation.
Ideas. Okay.
Ideation.
Ideation. All right. Wonderful. Sure. What
So
else?
viability.
Sorry. Come again.
Viability.
Viability. Okay. Viability has ingrained
Sir,
well.
Innovation.
hello, sir.
The feasibility.
Sorry.
The feasibility.
Okay. Viability, feasibility. Wonderful.
Sir,
All right.
the most important thing is problem. There you should have a problem to solve. So
Wonderfully said.
if there is no problem,
yeah, and if there is no problem, you create one, right?
That's correct.
That's
all about designing for thoughts.
Yeah, so this is exactly how the design thinking operates and design operates. I mean, I would not say you create one, but you extrapolate the problem. Yeah, so you look at it from the holistic perspective and expand the horizon of. I'll come to some of those examples and how it can lead to the creation part. Okay, so yeah, what else? I mean. You said feasibility, viability, that is ingrained well. You said empathy. All right.
sir, it should be consumer centric.
Consumer centric. Okay, sure. The words for it.
The innovation.
Innovation, okay, that should lead to the innovation. All right.
Collaboration.
Creativity.
Creativity, yes. Yeah.
Creative confidence.
Creative confidence, yeah, that's a mindset thing. Sure.
Sir, I'm not aware about the word, but futuristic, like you are able to see in future there can be a probable problem.
Sure.
Means today
Sure.
there is no problem. Sustainability or something like it's going to be there,
Okay.
the same solution. That
Okay.
I don't know.
Also
exactly.
value proposition.
Ah, wonderful. It should create a value and value proposition. Okay, fine. So these are words in the isolation prevailing in our mind, and I'm happy at least we are exposed to all that in the context of design thinking. But how do you apply that? Apply and teach is the a requirement to understand here. And none of you have said the simple word that is need, to establish the need for the requirement of the user and the business. So establishing the need, and then you said also the design and design thinking is a problem solving method. So it's not that we create the problem, but then it's an approach that how do you solve the problem? Yeah, and then expand the problem base, and then you tend to will take some of those this thing. And when you say creativity, I mean, creativity many a times floats in the air. So design thinking basically brings the method to that madness. Or just by only being creative, you might not achieve the desired result. But when you put things in compartments and cohesively look at it, when you said viability, when you said feasibility, all of this thing is kind of required. And as we saw in the JCB and compactor and excavator example, it is all about converting opportunity to and put that to in an action, so that you can get the desired result and become successful in the market. Yeah, so it is basically a bridge between your creative energy and the market success, right? So innovation is all about that. I mean, creativity somehow sometimes can remain on paper or maybe in the prototype. But when you say viability and the feasibility, it is all talking about the market success as well. So design thinking has to lead to that. And this is what, how do you were talking about problem solving. As it is described as a problem solving activity, it is like, what is the command that you are giving to yourself? So it is like, expanding the brief in itself and putting down the brief in a different way. So when you say that I want to design a chair, it is very obvious for the person to design something, with the 4 legs and an armrest and maybe a back as well, right? But if you change your brief from designing a chair to saying that you are establishing the problem as something to sit on, right? That changes the whole lot of opportunity possibility, and their possibility to create something like, bin bags or a lazy bags that we have. It allows you to sit, right? It prompts you for that action, but it is not a chair at last. A chair, when you say, you have a totally different picture in the mind, and you won't be able to do anything much other than having some 4 legs and the armrest and the stuff. But it can still serve the purpose of seating that you have. So going to the core of the problem, identifying that and changing the brief differently, and that is the approach which leads to the opportunity creation. And same way, saying that designing of a car would only make you to do something with the form, and then there are 4 wheels and the steering and all of those stuff. But when you say I want to design something to get transported from one place to another, that is giving rise to a lot of other opportunity creation. And Segway, the way it has come up, it is all because of this kind of. So I mean, in other words, if I have to say, you have broadened the horizon and the scope of your operation to apply the design process, and through which many unusual, creative, different, out of the box things that comes up, right? You did not use the word. So far we've said all of those, but many a times people say that you said consumer, of course. So needs of the user, and what is the need is to identify in the design process. But more important is when we say identifying the need, we need to identify the latest need. And I hope with this August crowd, I need not to make you understand the word meaning of the word latent. It is inherent, it is hidden, right? The design thinking has to bring it out, is to identify that. So the excavator, the problems, the way you identify, that leads you to identifying the latent need. Yeah, it is not only the need that you look at, and we'll see some of the good case studies and which would talk about identifying these need and empathy mapping. All of these aspects that you do, design research, observation research, I'm sure this would have been taught to you, the methods and tools to do this. Ethnography is a very important aspect, and observation is a very, very, very intense, and it is being done differently. That's not the subject of my presentation today, so I'll not get into the details of this. I'm sure it would have been given to you by now, right? But empathy mapping you are trying to do to be able to find out the latent need of the people. So word latent is very, very important, and you need to be observant. You interview people, and you need to be listener, and also be able to experience what the pain that other people would have, and hence after experiencing and be able to understand the real problems, we can address that. And all of this put together ultimately leads to the insight. Insight is a very heavily loaded word, and when you say that value proposition, that comes from these insight part. Whatever insight that you create, that should be useful to the specific crowd of people, and it should solve some of their problems. Then it would lead to the market success, and it would be useful. If you do it only apply the creativity for yourself, then it may not incorporate all these other aspects of inciting and other addressing the need part of it, right? Insight is not, many times it is being misunderstood as an intuition. Intuition is not insight. Intuition is your own, it can come from within, but insight has to come from the field by studying the user, by doing the empathy mapping, right? So we need to establish and understand their problems, users' problems, and it is also not the solution itself. Yeah, this is where the journey of the design process starts. It's not the end of it, right? So, and then most important word here is the context also. So no design is ever bad, but it can be non-contextual. When we say the market success, it can be the failure just because it has not been contextual. The person selling the spectacles at the goggle at the beach is going to be more successful and useful for having the customer needs rather than people going to the shop and buy it out, right? So something which is available where you are actually needed, that this is the kind of context part, and then design does not exist without the context. Yeah. So the need and latent need and the contextuality is very, very important. I'm not too very sure. Tushar, would you be able to play that video, or should we go ahead without? Oh, it is playing here itself.
Yes, now play your.
All right. So you guys understand the context of the context. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Wonderful, sir.
Right. So design exists in the context, and we must understand besides what else or all we understand by the framework. Empathy, defining is all I talked about. The problem framing is a very important exercise, and the ultimate result would be depending upon what do you define it here. And empathy brings you to the need part of it, the user's need, and the latent need more importantly, and the rest is the story that you go ahead with. An ultimate result would depend upon these two initial, we say that very cliche saying, no, well begin is half done. So I would say in design and design thinking, the doing the empathy and the defining part really well is more than half done. Yeah, this is a simple other process through which you create ideation and prototyping and all of those, but creating the larger canvas is extremely important. Identifying the user's need, latent need, contextualizing that is very important. And when I say, oh my God. Oh, okay. You could see this, right? Okay. What do I mean by this? Users need, how to capture the latent need, and what do I understand by that? If I may dwell little upon it, that you said value proposition. So when you try and do something which is not expected by the user. So for example, many of you must be using the iPhones, but how many of you have demanded for it? But today, if I may ask, was there a need for? We can't think of the life without that, right? The touch screen. I mean, our entire life drives towards that. Somebody thought of it that it was expected, but not understood by the designers. If you simply ask them what are your problems, they might not be able to describe it. But when try and dig that out through your observation research, empathy mapping, these kind of things that really comes up. And when you put something up there which has been meeting their needs without they being explaining that to you, it was not expected by them, but then they kind of did. So when you observe people during, they were using the pencil, right? And if you do something wrong, you need to erase that. But somebody observed that eraser many times has been lost in the process, and you are kind of struggling to erase that. And that's where you clubbed, based on that observation, very small intervention like clubbing that rubber with the eraser with the pencil, and that becomes very handy all the time, and that solves your problem. So this is what was also been done by the Maruti Fronti, I mean, when they were researching the users, they realized, and which is typical of India, that, for us, every car is a temple, right? We invariably have, unlike mine, I don't have idol put it up in the car dashboard. I mean, it is there down below, actually, not on the dashboard, but there is still a temple within, right? So they realized this, and this is unlike anywhere else. So what used to happen was, previously the kind of dashboard design was not allowing you, it was a slopey and all of those. So it was not possible for you to, keep the idol on the dashboard. And having realized this need, Maruti Fronti for the first time started applying, I mean, offering that possibility for you to, there is a special kind of space created for that. And that was then kind of understood and provided by all other car manufacturers as well. But a very simple insight like this, that everyone wants to kind of put the idol on the car thing and being provided for it, that brings in the satisfaction and the customer delight, and that makes the products kind of successful. So we'll take some of these kind of case studies that, and very quickly, if you can respond to this. You guys are very quick and smart at it, so I would wish that to do, but only keep in mind that only one person speak at a time. So if someone else has started, the other one I mean, I think we are all teachers, so we need to observe this discipline within us, and that should not be very difficult. So what do you see it here, and what is so different? and why this would have been created. Or maybe I'll lead to this picture. So what is so different? For the benefit of time, let me just roll it fast. This is a kitchen tong, right? It's a, I mean, in a local vernacular, we call it a sanasi. And so what are the, so what one has tried to do here? Any idea that you get? Quick idea?
It holds the edge very.
Okay.
Because the utensil is hot, you can hold it with that tongue.
Okay. Yeah, it has been given the rubber grip, and so that
even it can be used to open the lid, because one tongue has got a upper this thing, so that it becomes easy to open and then hold.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
Sir,
all those pictures as well.
That most of the traditional tongs that we use in Gujarat, they are slippery. This is a non-slippery. And I also see a walnut cracker. The walnut cracker. We can crack a walnut.
So I think you guys can think of many different uses also. But what was done here is when you do the empathy mapping part of it, empathy research, the props used to be, if you remember, if you really see, that used to be the flat, the kitchen tong used to be the flat and the vertical. And what happens is that normally when the vessel is hot, it is steaming, right? And that steam can hurt you. So this particular tong, it is little away from that, and it allows you for you to not get hurt by the steam coming out from the vessel. So understanding and observing this as a problem and then applying and creating that for yourself. So normally you will find the tong coming in here in this position. In here, because of this bend given there, you are little away from the vapor that can the steam that can hurt you, right? That was the one of the basic fundamental reason, and all other things that you also narrated is always been, I mean, the ergonomically done, better grip and all of those stuff. What do you see it here? Picture might not be that clear. This is what it is. And if you try and look at the problem that you have, normally if you want to consume half, there's no option, right? When you puncture it, you have to finish the full part of it. So here is an instrument which has been kind of designed, which can allow you to consume the later part and the half other part a little later. And and that used to be the problem. What do you see it here, and what is that? I mean, if I may say, tell you that it is A4 size copier paper packaging. What is so different here? Any idea? How is design thinking being applied here? What used to be the problem for the...
Sir, may I say? Most of the times these papers are stuck together.
Right.
So this will avoid them sticking together, this design.
By giving the
space between the
lighting. Okay, right. And that packaging being non-transparent, you normally don't get to know that how many papers are there inside. But with this leaf here, you get an idea that roughly how many papers are there inside. Right? Am I right? So this is precisely has been, I mean, so where does the, everywhere if you try and look at, basically one has tried to understand the latent need part of it and where does the problem kind of exist. This again, I mean, a lot of things are from the kitchen, it seems. So this is a burner that we have, and most important part is, I mean, the ladies here and nowadays almost everyone cooks, you know, after the pandemic. So what are the problems with the gas stove? Main problem?
This appears to be portable, sir.
Okay, what else? What would be the problem? What are the problems?
Sir, cleaning under the stove.
Hey, who is this? Wonderful.
Indrila.
Right, Shilaji. So that's what is the problem, and that is what has been tried to solve here. And when you talk about the feasibility and viability, you are also achieving the economy of the material usage, right? So cost of the material and hence the product would come down. But most importantly, the purpose is one has observed that it is very difficult to clean the interior parts of the the gas stove. And how can you minimize that, and minimalistic kind of design, but still sturdy and portable also one set, right? So I'm all talking about how does one have identified the pain points, and that becomes the need, and that need basically is when you identify the pain point, those are the latent needs. And when your product provides for it, when your innovation works for it, that's where it leads to the success, market success, and that is the ultimate goal for any business or any individual to design the products, right? What do you see it here? What do you see it here?
I think it's a luggage carrier.
Great. And what are the problems with the luggage carrier normally? With the traditional luggage carrier, what are the problems?
So we had to pick the luggage and then keep it on the trolley.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Sir, the luggage carriers don't have a stand.
Okay. What else?
Sir, we have to hello. Sir, we have to lift it when we are climbing the stairs.
Wonderfully said, sir. So it fails when it comes to climbing the stair with the luggage, and that is where exactly you need it more, right? Dragging is okay, but how do you climb and unclimb the stair? So that's where it has been designed in such a way that this luggage carrier can climb and unclimb the stair as well, right? This thing would allow that to happen. Are we getting this? And in here it is difficult. It would not allow so much, right? So very simple thing, identifying the pain and the need has led to this. These you might not, these are some of the medical support devices. If you want to apply some, eye drops in the eye on your own, it is always very difficult. So this particular cap is kind of helping you to do that. And this is writing aid for the rheumatoid arthritis people. And they are always kind of shivering and not having the real good grip. So this instrument kind of allows that to happen. It's always very difficult to, to put the thread in the needle, right? And this thing is kind of getting supported by opening up the thread portion, and it allows you to do that part very easily well. What are the problems with the roti making? This is a roti maker basically. In the local vernacular, we say partly. Yeah. So what are the benefits of this? I don't have the other side of the picture for this product, but normally
I think it's creating a vacuum, sir, so that it does not move, it doesn't flip.
Yeah, it doesn't flip. The down below the edge is very sharp, and so it rotates itself. Many times if I do the roti, then I move it along with, and roti doesn't become circular. But this particular simple product facilitates that to happen, and very, very interesting. And those are the problems, and that has been addressed. I talked about the context. So what do you find the context? What is this and where does this fit in? What do you see it here?
The stem glass.
Okay. All right. So
usually to avoid glass to broke.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, we are in Gujarat, and Gujarat is a dry state, but somebody might say that it is a wine glass or whatever, but this is a chair actually. And if you want to find the good context for this, it is a bartender, though we are in a dry state, but it can be help. We come from, audience comes from all across India. So this is what it would be, kind of look very go in line with the other ecosystem if you put that in a bartender, and maybe also in an architect's office you need to have this kind of a seating, right? So this is basically a chair actually, or maybe when I say something to sit on, but it has been contextualized. Yeah. So I was talking about that. Many times it is very difficult to measure the liquid that you pour in the glass. So this is liquid measuring jar, which kind of you can, measure the liquid and then pour it into the glass, which is very kind of useful. And these kind of this bulk packaging has been improved by having these, bulging things, which gives the extra cushion for the bulb, with the simple mechanism which has been done for the existing packaging. Some design thinking which has been applied, and then you have got the more better cushion for the bulb. Yeah, and many times when you are traveling, you are missing out on having the carrying the glass and all that, which is a voluminous thing and it can occupy. But somewhere somebody has designed this disposable mug which you can carry it with in your pocket and then use it and maybe throw it after the use. But it kind of supports your function of carrying something, in that. So why are we studying design thinking? I need not to elaborate much. It has been told quite a lot to you, and you have inculcated that as well, really well. What is important for the business? Just a sec. I'll just get up. Sorry. Attaining the triple bottom line is important, and I'll tell you, has anyone talked about the triple bottom line?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So triple bottom line is nothing but doing the best for the most with the least. We'll not go through the case study. I think I have not much time left with me, and if you bear with me, we have spent some time in getting onto the technology part. So if I may take some 5-10 minutes more for if your interest and possibility lies. I mean, Tushar can tell me that, and accordingly I can go about the presentation.
Yes,
but yeah, okay. Yeah, all right, fine. So doing the best for the most with the least is the whole aspect of the design thinking. And these are very loaded and philosophical part. It seems like when you say doing the best for the most and with the least of the resources, most of the people, and at the same time they get the best of the outcome as well. This is what Charles Henry himself said. Let me put that across a little more further, that how does designers attain this through the design thinking is to think about the social and cultural aspect. When I said Maruti Fronti providing for the car to become an idol, become a temple, that's what it is. Making it economical, you all understand when you say viability is a prime most function of the design thinking, and it has to be sustainable and environmental friendly. That's what it talks about: people, profit, and planet. Yeah, so that is there. I need not to talk about this. I think this has been very well ingrained into you. So most importantly, we all talked about also many times when you say the viability and feasibility can be looked after a lot more by the technology people and the management people, but to look at fundamentally at the desirability aspect, identifying the need, identifying the problem, identifying the pain points is extremely very important. And what is most important is for any product to be successful, it needs to have all these three. So again, you can say that triple bottom line being achieved in terms of desirability, viability, and the feasibility part of it, right? So and then when you say when you achieve all these three, then you lead to the innovation part of it. Tata Nano did the viability part extremely well. I mean, they could achieve in a 1 lakh car, in a 1 lakh 20,000 rupees. Feasibility, they made it feasible. It was difficult, but
it failed.
Yeah.
It failed in desirable, sir.
It failed in desirable, and in spite of the product being serially so well thought of and well done, it did not succeed, right? It could not lead to the market success. Same way, Segway as a product, viability they failed into. Desirability not so much, but feasibility they created, which is very difficult to come up with this kind of products. But when you say iPhone, it has maybe fitting more into the desirability and the feasibility part, viability only for certain segment of it, right? So for the for the innovation to happen and the product to get successful in the market, we need to have the combination of all these three. And these are the bottom lines I'm saying. So it has to exist for any product. Yeah, it has to be looked at it from that perspective. Time is not so much there, so I would not get into this, but otherwise we would have done this small exercise that how do you address the problem of the parking in a design thinking way? But maybe if the opportunity permits some other time, or we'll kind of for now we'll skip this. And there was a nice video, you can look at it on a S oil here balloon. You guys can look at it at your pace, and that would be also interesting to look at. I'm not going through that now. What do you see it in this map?
Is it a wheel?
Sorry.
Map is oh,
Map is?
It's rotated, it's upside
ulta
down.
kara hai.
It's upside down. So when you say upside down, the preconditioning that we have. And design mindset is talking about unlearn and come out of your preconditioning. Yeah, we are habituated to look at the map in a certain way, and that's where we find that it is ulta. It is not, but it is basically a mindset issue. And through design thinking, we need to change that. And on the day one, George Harte also talked about creating a mindset for it. So in spite of having a lot of understanding of the tools and the things, if you don't change your mindset, it is difficult to achieve this, right? So preconditioning, we need to get out of it, and that's what we saw in the elephant example as well, and a lot of other products and all that, which is a requirement. Now, when you say creating a brief, marketing brief is always target oriented, that we want to sell 1,000 pieces and all of those, right? And when it comes to the design brief and the creative brief, it is possibilities oriented. We'll just take, I mean, we have talked about the few other things, but if you look at, there is nothing called matured markets, there are only saturated mindset that you have. So there is a very cliche example of the Bata shoe in Africa. The CEO called one person and sent to the market research and the field survey, and that person went there and came back and said that in Africa nobody wears shoe, and hence we should not be creating a store there. And this lady was surprised, the CEO of Bata at that time. And then she said that, let me check with some other guy. He went there and he saw the whole market opportunities and all of those. He came back and said that we should not waste any moment in putting up and existing in South Africa. This lady was surprised. The other guy was saying that we can't do business there. This guy is saying that we should not waste time in putting up our business there. She said, why? I mean, and he said that nobody is wearing shoe at present and there are no shoe companies there. And we have the totally untapped potential to address. And hence we should not be taking any time and become the provider of that. So that here what you see it is the mindset issue, right? How do you perceive the problem or the opportunity? That's where we need to kind of come in, and it is all about creating a different mindset in terms of what is it to look at. From that we need to get into the what it could be. That is the mindset approach. And instead of narrowing down the problem, we need to add on to it. I mean, we initially said funnily that if there are no problems, create one. But when you have one problem, try and look at it from the larger perspective, the holistic perspective. In design, we say that systems perspective. That is very, very, very important and useful to look at it from the holistically talking about. And systems thinking perspective is the subject by itself. So we'll not take that now, but change the mindset to look at. So what do you observe here? very quickly?
Inside an aeroplane.
Inside an aeroplane, what is so different? Is there anything different here? Is it solving some issue for you?
They seem to arrange a coupe for every passenger.
Right. That's a and that is a real problem when you travel by the air, right? I mean, sitting is very, very cumbersome there, and this has been made comfortable sitting for every individual in that same given space. And some of the people might have to sit backwards in an aeroplane, which is not a desirable thing. But when you provide other easement, looking at their pain part and all that, people might kind of accept that. So what has worked here ultimately? Yeah.
They have given more leg space, I guess. That's
leg room they have given, sir.
Leg room, so they can slide down.
They have arranged the seats in a different manner, like each of the seat is facing the other seat.
All of you are right.
This is New Zealand Airways, sir.
Sure,
I'm guessing.
So I think it's for long journey that you can rest by putting your foot in some rest position.
So my point here was, till now we talked about the need part of it and all that. But what works here is that when you say that people in the first place, if you ask them to sit backwards, you might get the response that we would not prefer doing it. But when you ultimately create all this story, people might prefer, and that's where the executing that is important by keeping in mind their needs and stuff. And this is, in different words, this is a trade-off between the real few other requirement of only be able to sit on the traveling side facing. That's the only compromise that you are making, and based on that, you are providing a lot many other leisure type. So prototyping in design and design process is very, very important, and a lot of insights can come through that, and execution as well is getting the feedback from the people. Only asking and getting the feedback might not be useful, but taking it through that. What is common in across all of this thing?
I think they provide insurance.
Okay. He seems to be having that background. Okay. All of these people are making money on, somebody else's infrastructure. They are more or less the algorithm. Uber, Ola, they are the algorithm, right? They don't own the taxi and still doing the business of lakhs of rupees. Airbnb does not own the property. They have changed the norms of the industry, each one of them. And this is how it is. I mean, each one of them have changed the norms of the sector entirely, and that's how they existed. They changed the mindset to look at the sector as a sector. They shifted the whole paradigm of the industry that way. You did talk about the value proposition, and I would not dwell more on that, but it has to be a win-win for all. When you say for all, it has to be a win for the business, win for the user, and it should then talk about that. Insight can come in many times also from the consumer research, and the Grameen Bank has done that. They kind of saw that how can you provide the loans, micro loans for the villagers and all of those, and they said that what is important is they don't have something to mortgage, but still their existence in the community is very important, and hence based on that they kind of given that based on their just being a part of the community. And it really worked. I mean, Grameen Bank is a very well accepted concept by now, and microfinancing has emerged from that. So you can think, I mean, we need to be bold enough to think when you say out of the box is in that context, but then at the same time, it is not being only creative about it. We also need to keep it in mind the pain points, the need, the latent need, and viability and the feasibility. Ginger Hotel came up with the same thing, that they were not been addressing some of their untapped clientele which were loyal to them, but only they realized out of the design research that the affordability is an issue, and they created the whole new range of hotel. And nobody today might be able to connect that with the Taj Group, but then it is an offshoot of the Taj Group of hotels. Dell also changed the whole, the market way of looking at it. And they said that we will be supplying the PC, we will assemble it within a week, and within 24 hours, it would be made available to the people based on their configuration. Yeah. And that started kind of pitching it. And what they also understood that they surveyed it out and they found out that what is required by the people is the service part of it. And they kind of excelled at it. And that's how it worked. FedEx, if you look at their punchline, what they say is that, the peace of mind. And what is the courier and the, FedEx has to got to do with the peace of mind. But they said that real-time tracking, you give them the, normally courier people makes you the confirmation when it reaches to the place. But sometimes you are anxious enough that where exactly my parcel is kind of reaching. So you can really track that, and all the technology and everything feasibility aspect that has been kind of created, and then seamless, services through the hub and spoke arrangement with being able to. Zara did very interesting part, saying that, I mean, they wanted to be fast and fresh. So in this sector, normally it takes a 6-month cycle to come up with a new, what you call as new kind of a collection, new seasons. But what they did was they realized that half of the time, as in about a month or two, goes into the sea traveling in the sea. And what they applied the design thinking by converting the transportation when they were transporting the finished goods. Rather, they said that how can we not entirely convert the factory in the sea itself? While it is getting transported, they started kind of manufacturing within the sea while it was transported, and that's how they kind of change the norms of the industry and being really fast and fresh all the time. And besides every other thing, the way the Zara is Zara. Narayana Hridayalaya is a very nice, case study in terms of be able to look at that cardiac surgery. They started doing it as they say that Henry Ford model of the cardiac surgery. And how did they achieve is a big story, that they were started getting the, the doctors from the abroad, those who are looking for the training to happen for them. And they are trained as well, and making use of that possibility, and then creating the 1/3 cost of the cardiac surgery. Yeah, and still giving the best of the best services. And this is something to do also with the business model aspect here, which I'll not dwell so much in the detail. Aravind Eye Care, their vision was to, address the cataract operation at the very low cost for the extreme low segment of the people as well. And they have done thousands of this surgery, and at a really low cost, by training the paramedical staff and everyone else and achieving the desired result within. EM3 is like Ola and Uber for the earth moving equipments for the agricultural products. They can't afford to have those big equipments, but mechanization is kind of being made possible by this company for the mainly for the what we call as agricultural field. So Tata Nano, we did talk about that brand and the culture also may not. And there is one more other product called Chotukul, and they designed the fridge for the village people, but village people had the aspiration to have the big size fridge, and they use the leftover thing on the next day as well. So if they have the fridge, they have the large vessels to put in, and they would want to have and that's what their aspiration was, and hence the thing failed. The same thing goes to the Tata, providing for, but whether did you really check with the people there? We not to get into this, but what is important for the business and the user is that larger overlap of that, and this is what can bring it in. The heart and the smile can come in through design thinking. We need to have the larger overlap, which is what I like the most. And this is all about, leading from problem to solution. You need to discover the needs, latent needs, define that, ideate, create, prototype, and then execute it. That's what the design process is all about, design thinking. If I have to learn the key points, which normally people don't talk about it, 5-step process is not a linear process. It is reiterative and iterative process. So, and having said that, you can start from anywhere. You can start from prototyping as well. Not necessarily it has to start with the empathy mapping alone all the time, but that should give you the feedback. Ultimately, you do have to go to that phase, that state, right? Understanding the user requirement is a must, and prototyping is the way to get the feedback really from the student. This is getting out of the process these days. Prototyping is almost being nullified, and people are simply, implementing the real product. There's nothing like prototype today. So with the design thinking, we need to jump out of the wheel so that we do not remain in a hamster wheel as an, and do not achieve what we want to achieve. But you apply design thinking and achieve the desired result is very, very important. It is important to compete, to innovate, and to innovate, it is important to apply the design thinking frameworks. And I'm sorry for having taken a little more time, but I would look forward to few good questions if you really have. So I say that design thinking is a sine qua non. It is imperative for the business and business success. I hope I have done justice to what I was.
You have shown very relevant example, and every participants have enjoyed and now realized where they can apply design thinking or design concepts, and they can contribute by motivating their students also for doing this kind of fantastic job.
Sure.
So if anyone is having any questions, then quickly we can take up.
Do we have any questions, or we look for that?
Sir, good morning, sir.
Yes.
I enjoyed your program very much. I'm Manatosh Howlada from Bombay, and I am from the industry. I'm from ex-general manager of ONGC.
Okay.
And I use a design thinking in different ways for last many years. What I found is from your class is a very detailed about the latent need. That is actually taking part from this class. But I never thought that way. Latent need. That is a great thing.
True. Oh, thank you so much. Right.
Sir, this is, I'm not asking any question, but this is a genuine feedback from my side. Every slide of yours was a visual feast. It was a piece of art, and it really made our day. I mean, in the morning, though there was a technical glitch, and you just kept, I mean, there's something to learn from you, that 22 minutes you did not connect, but still you could actually carry forward the session in such a beautiful manner, sir, that every slide was a visual feast, and everything thought actually entered our mind in such a beautiful manner, sir. I cannot express that in here. Thank you so much.
This is a great feedback for me and a motivation. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, sir. Sir, good morning.
Much in advance.
Sir, good morning. Myself, Dr. Sanjay Shekhawat from Engineering College, Jalgaon, Maharashtra.
Yes,
your presentation was very informative and eye-opening, and whatever the case studies you have presented, really many of the case studies are related with the engineering, and that is a fantastic feast for all of us.
Yes.
I want to know about one thing, that is many designs are inspired from the nature. So design inspired from the nature is also a very upcoming field in the designing. So what you elaborate on this?
Yeah, certainly, sir. I mean, so there's something called biomimicry, and that's where what you say that inspiring design from the nature is basically we use that as part of the process when it comes to ideally the ideation part of it. You know, so if you have seen the Shinkansen, the Japanese bullet train. Yeah, so that has been inspired by the bird, which is kind of sorry, the dolphin, and which takes off really fast. You know, so I mean those kind of things gives you firstly it gives you an idea and the application for the form part of it, and more than the form, if I have to apply design thinking to that, it gives you a clue of the characteristic of that. So Velcro, for that matter, has come up from I forgot the name of the plant, but there it seems was just, I mean, it is an accidental innovation. One kind of realized that if this can happen with the plants, the same thing can happen with the fabric, and we know that how Velcro we are using it now. So from the nature, you tend to get a lot of inspirations, and that inspiration can help you in conceptualizing and ideating. So ideation, I have not addressed so much, and it is a subject by itself, but many a times you tend to fumble with it. You tend to, do not get so many ideas. At that time, the nature can help you. That in the given context, how can it, helpful in creating the more concepts and get better. And we should be looking at it largely, design people look at it from the form part of it, but I am proponent of thinking about from the characteristic part of it. If you
Good morning, sir. I'm Vijay from Tamil Nadu.
Yes. I hope I have
Good morning, sir. I'm Vijay from Tamil Nadu.
Shekhawat sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Biomimicry you can study. Yes, ma'am. You were saying something.
Good morning, sir. In National Institute of Design, in which particular area you focus for developing designs? Like any particular field you focus, or you are given more importance for making new designs? Any particular field?
Myself or in general? My discipline is strategic design management, but are you asking in general or in specific?
Sir, in your department or on the whole of NID?
Okay. So, I mean, we focus on everything that design encompasses, but design itself has grown. It has led to, from the initially there was nothing like design people were knowing about in the name of design. So we say no design. There is something called Danish design ladder. It talks about the evolution of design. So then after it came the understanding of design as form. And when I answered the Shekhawat Saab's question of the inspiring from nature, that's where people used to use it for the form part of it. Can I request the background music to be off, please? Yeah. What you call the next part was the design as a form, and then came the also very cliche saying that form follows function, and we started talking about design to incorporate in the process part of it, which is what we are trying to do as part of the design thinking as well. But more than that, today what is in vogue is to look at it design from the strategic point of view, and which is what my forte core and interest today. And people also find a lot of such application. When you say looking at it from the strategic design, coming in from the form, which is very tangible and the visible aspect of it, here you are talking about, I mean, the kind of decisions that you have taken based on the observation of excavator to compactor, is nothing but the strategic design and strategic design thinking. And particularly when you talk about the design as a mindset, that's what strategic design talks about. And ultimately, all put together, design today has become the synonymous to innovation. And it is all because of, applying design in the context of strategy. Yeah, so that's how it is moving.
Good morning,
But
sir. This is Indrita from Mumbai. Sir, I wanted to ask you, sir, that circularity in design, how far has this got implemented? I mean, so far, most of, especially design of products, so far we have seen a very linear pattern. You design, you create, you use, you throw. And we are not really looking at the environmental aspect so deeply. So do you think there has been a shift towards circularity in design, whether it's industrial design or product design or whatever design? Because that's being a big problem that the world is facing today.
All right. Yeah, you are right. I mean, I will address your question a bit differently because both is my kind of interest area, but more so the circularity and circular aspect of it. So I would differentiate, and we all need to understand this. There is a movement going on, right? We are talking about the sustainable aspect. So when it comes to design and design of products, we are there talking about mainly from the material perspective. Can I request the background noise to get stopped, please? Hello. Yeah. Yeah. So, ma'am, are you listening, Lena?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So mainly the sustainability is to do with the material aspect and all of those. And there also has been used to be the luxury because the affordability has not been used to be achieved so far now. But when you say use the word circularity, it is not only the word, it is always being used as circular economy. So you very rightly said that make use and throw. From that to getting to the sharing and the looping economy that make use and reuse. And that's the portion when you get into it is more of a creating a business for that and all that. So I mean, India, we are at a very nascent stage, but very, very much required. So if you address those part, there's going to be a larger take for you. But it is to kind of do with the understanding that with the economic aspect.
So, sir, don't you think the intervention should happen at the design stage? That when you're designing something, you already have to think about the loop, as in.
Certain. So there you need to apply this DFV model. I mean, ultimately by doing that, things should not become costlier.
So what model did you say? Sorry.
The desirability, feasibility, and affordability.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So attending the triple bottom line is nothing but circularity and the sustainability aspect. So third P is talking about the planet, right? The sustainability aspect. So design has to inculcate that, no doubt about it. I fully agree. Yeah. There was one more question. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, this is Sunil. If I would like to add something on the circular economy, there are two aspects. One, more of a reuse, like we as an Indian culture, earlier it was the part of the culture.
Yeah.
Like, if I give very simple example, about the elder sister or brother was used by the younger sister or brother when he attends to the next class, or the clothes were used, or couple of other things when the people were using it and then giving it to someone. But now because of some, it is the cultural change that we may be buying new boots, clothes, or one, yes, it is to the product part where the product manufacturer or the designer has to develop in a way that it can be reused. But couple of times it is the cultural part on the user. Like if we know the earlier, even the simple, like after burning a wood, we were using that as the for the cleaning of the utensils. But now we moved to the entire the gas culture, and now the entire industry of the utensil washers and the liquids like Pril and other has been the interest in the industry area. So that is also the cultural shift of the people is also there we have to see on the
No,
the
Sunil,
circular economy.
Sunilji, my view is a bit different, and with the understanding that I have of the circularity and circular economy, I don't use the word circularity. I say that it is circular
Right, sir.
economy.
True,
I
sir.
also said for the last person as well. So when you say that when you burn the wood and then whatever that remains, when it gets into the system of a business, when it is also get converted into the product, what you are talking
Right,
about is the lifestyle that individual had. So that
right,
lifestyle,
sir.
unless and until it gets converted into a product and the utility, I mean, it is very difficult to practice by everyone else, you know,
Right, sir.
at a
So,
larger
sir,
scale. And
sir,
that is where the word economy is very, very important. So changes has to
sir,
be at the level of, yes, please. Yeah, Sunilji.
sir, I would like to add one more the advanced level. Like, today, because of this COVID situation, we all feel difficulty. But if I thought, few, say, we were all talking about the carbon footprint, and every time we buy the air ticket, we talk about the carbon footprint and energy saving and the carbon saving. But
True.
when, few 15, 20 years ago, when I made one presentation that, in future, the competitor to the airline industry will be the video calling feature, and no one believed that. When I made
Yeah,
a
you are a
presentation in
visionary.
2002 saying that in the future, the business class competitor for the airline will be the someone coming with the more tools and technology like Skype. Nobody
Right.
believed that, and today when the airline was down, all the business processes or the interaction done with the Zoom and other like we are doing today with the Microsoft Teams. And the future, if we get more features, like yesterday, Microsoft include the breakout room also.
Yeah.
If we go more and more with the latest technology, there will be a real threat to the business class or the other airline industry. That and so circular economy, when this side we are saving the carbon footprint or the climate change, but at the same time it is more of a cultural change, the perception of the people. Okay, no worries, in-person meeting is not required, we can achieve the same decision making or the other interaction through the digital platforms.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. An electric car like Reva to not to be successful, Segway. So adding on to what you are saying, what is important also for the any product or things to work in a circular economy, when you say you need to have an ecosystem for that. That's a word for it, right? And when the ecosystem is ready, when you thought of the video conferencing call, maybe the ecosystem or the real requirement was not there. COVID has brought it in the compulsion, but then, and we also call in a business something to say that paradigm shift. And where you want to shift the paradigm, it is not individual operating with it, but in a long run, it would become the definition of the whole sector. You know, taxi today, if we are still having the taxis and the thing, but Ola and Uber has tried to change the definition of it when that becomes only prevalent thing. So you need to have, for the first success of the new idea, you need to have the ecosystem also ready to absorb that. And we need to survey that out. When you say feasibility aspect, it does check about that, whether the ecosystem ready.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So now,
Good morning.
Yes, sorry to interrupt everyone, and I request now, because sir is also having his schedule, and we are having our guest ready for our next session. So,
Sure. Yeah.
participants, thank you so much for your this interaction, and so that I think our speaker has also enjoyed a lot.
Yes.
Interaction, because he is the guy who believes in interaction, because design thinking, every professional believes in interaction. Then only we can come out with that brainstorming and few creativity aspects and the DFB and all other things. So I really appreciate all the participants, and as well as I really appreciate Professor Bhavin Kothariji, the way you have explained the concept by your very good aesthetic look presentation with all of the designs and everything. That is really much appreciated. So on behalf of Gujarat Technological University, we really thankful that you have accepted our invitation and you have chosen the topic which is very much